A heart broken with fear seeping in, like a virus pushing out hope, closing in on my heart, choking. My chest tightens. Why, beloveds, I yell at the sky. I scream in rage inside. A furrowed brow belies what this day may bring. Fear and anger churning in my stomach. Breathe. Breathe. And cry. Waiting. Start with coffee. Start with breaths. Waiting. Hope comes knocking at my door. I don't let her in. It doesn't feel safe. Waiting. That poem was on my Facebook feed this morning. It was written by my colleague Jessica Clay, and it really kind of hit what I was feeling. The mix of emotions that I was holding, fear and hope, and rage and disappointment, and, you know, the fact that we're having to wait for results, wait to know what's coming. I think we have an idea of what's coming, probably more waiting, which we don't like to do, let's be honest. But I want to talk about those feelings a little bit that we're holding, those complicated feelings of fear, fear of what kind of backlash and responses there will be to this election. That's a very real feeling that many of us are holding. Rage, I think a lot of folks were hoping that the election would be clear and that we could see that the country wanted to move towards racial justice and reforms and better policies for the environment, better policies for women, better policies for immigrants. So I think there's a real palpable rage that we hold, that when we look at the results, no matter what the final outcome is, we realize that the country overwhelmingly doesn't demand those things, and that's heartbreaking. And that means we have a lot of work to do. And then there's hope. I think we're very hopeful that the election will take, a turn towards liberalism and embrace, those values, that will prevail. But we know we've got a road ahead of us before that's going to happen. And so we have to wait. And we're also fearful of holding on to hope. We've got a little post-traumatic stress disorder from the last election. So I just want to make space for all that. And I've been talking a lot about self-care lately, and certainly we don't want to lose sight of that. We don't want to lose sight of good things for us that keep us healthy, that keep our hearts and spirits healthy. And we've talked a lot about those things. But I also do want to talk about, that rage and fear, and I just want to make sure that you're all making space for that as well, to hold those emotions that are really hard to hold. And that we can channel, especially the rage, that we can channel that into the work that lies ahead. Because let me tell you, and I'll talk more about this on Sunday, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Some friends had asked me, if it was hard to figure out what I was going to say on Sunday, but quite honestly, the sermon is the same. We have a lot of work ahead of us to do, right? It just matters if we've got some leaders in place who are willing to engage that work that we hold so dearly or not. And so we need to prepare ourselves for that, and think of ways that we can tap into that anger and that disappointment, tap into that heartbreak when we see injustice, and use that as a catalyst to move us forward and transforming this nation into what we want it to be. I'm holding you all in my heart. I know this is hard. Please reach out if you need any help or anybody to talk to. Call a friend, call me. Um, do what you need to do. Take a walk, get some exercise when you can. Our bodies hold a lot of stress right now, and doing things with our bodies is a good way to address some of that. So please do that. I hope to see you all on Sunday. Until then, take exquisite care of yourselves, be loved, and be loving.